Hi, Scott. This is our podcast, the Booster Podcast. I'll have some questions for you. And yeah, first, how's your day going?
Great. It's always great. Christ is in my heart. I get to see you beautiful young children, well, young men, excuse me, and young ladies. Found my happiness.
Yeah. Okay. So, first question, what's your favorite aspect of the job?
Seeing you guys.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why?
I had my, well, I first started this 15 years ago. My first thing was, I honestly didn't care much about the kids. I was coming here to do a job. I had worked my whole life hard, and this was sort of like semi-retirement for me because I'd been in 19 years old. I was a foreman on a millwright group, 8 guys under me. So I've always been in management. I had learning problems when I was in high school, dyslexic. So that comes with transposing numbers, and just reading was hard, but I caught on quick. I was a smart kid that just didn't care about English. They didn't know back then. This was, 45 years ago. Had no idea. Smart kid, didn't care. Excelled in ag, in automotive. And I was always, and animals, great with animals, trained horses, trained dogs, you name it, done it. And good with people. Always have, gives a gab. Always had it, always will. Christ wasn't in my heart at that time. I wonder how different my life would have been if he would, but he has a plan, and I just go for the ride. And I'm here for a reason, and that's all these kids. That's why I'm here, is to help you learn from me all the crazy mistakes I've made in my life. Help you guys. And I want everybody here to know that I love them and truly care. And I do. There ain't nothing you can do about it. And there ain't, because I'm here.
So, another question. Any notable students in the past 10 years or memorable?
10 years.
And if not, what makes a memorable student for you?
Because I'm somebody that's truly in Christ, and I can feel it. But, I want everybody to know him like I know him. That's very important to me, because being saved is important. But I'm being a little selfish here. Athletes and people that sing, and I've gotten rounded into the understanding acting better, because my daughter done it for years. Understanding band. I sang when I was in high school. Didn't finish it out because I was too busy in the ag department. Wish I would have. Things would have maybe been better. Pleasant. As somebody that's really pleasant.
Yeah.
I have, there's just so many of them. I can't think. I mean, you guys don't realize it's hard for me because I see your names. Teachers have you for an hour and a half, and they can see your name anytime they go, okay, and they can relate something to it. I see you guys like seniors that come through. Levi, I'm shocked I'm remembering your name because you don't come through.
I know.
And so that's hard for me because I have a mechanism. One thing, I was a alcoholic for years, very functioning alcoholic. I didn't drink when I was at work, drank when I was at home. My Mrs. Jenne, she paid for years. And, I'm not drinking anymore. Don't ever plan on having it back in my life, but you got to realize you need brain cells, guys. And you do. So one of my brain cells, once I was a Swans guy 25 years ago, had 3,000 names, and then 1,500 names, but I remembered all their kids, their dogs, remembered all those names. And then I remember when I got done with that job, I go, man, I ain't got to remember names no more. Click. I don't remember names. And it's just like that one animated show. It has, in the kid's brain, it has the little personalities up in its head. And I can't remember the name.
Inside Out?
Yeah, there you go. And then you have the one guy down below dumping.
Yeah.
And you don't need those memories. Yeah, you don't know. And that's where I'm at. I sit there and I don't see somebody. And I done fairly well this year because I made it a point. I need to start remembering kids from last year. Like, a lot of times I would, 2 years ago, I would have remembered you because you're not coming through the line.
I know.
And it's tough on me. You've made an impression, a good one. And I think a lot of that is I see how Mrs. Bathurst in this department is growing I mean, and how involved you guys are in what you're doing. It's intriguing. And that could be one of the reasons I've seen you down there in the glass house doing your job and doing what you need to do. It's impressive. And there's a future in this because this ain't going away. We might have, robots that are going to be, doing my job, easily could be, 10 years, who knows? But your job, no. People are going to want to see people.
Yeah, it's that personal.
Oh, yeah, they want that. So, I mean, you're going to be lucky. If you get into this field, there are going to be people behind the scenes like you guys back there. Doc Owen and Jackson, they're going to need those people because they'll want that touch. You ain't going to want to be looking at a robot because you'd be just like the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild that just went on strike. That's what that was all about. AI.
Yeah.
AI. You're going to have writers on this team, and you're going to be doing this, and they're going to be getting this amount of hours in this. And AI, you're not using AI. Yeah, you can help it, but we proofread. If we don't like it, no,
That's true.
So, and that's where you guys, they're what do you want to call it? Opening the way for you guys, which is good.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. What is one thing you would change about our school?
Can't think. I can't really think of one thing that I would change about the school. This is where I get back. It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what I would like to see is better paid teachers. One thing
we can all agree. Yeah.
And I do. And I mean, I'm Mr. Conservative, ultra conservative type guy. I have a lot of friends that are liberal. And I care about them. I love them. I love everybody, put it bluntly. And I see their point of view. You might not agree with their point of view. No, do not believe, but I understand why you think.
Yeah.
And I truly do. Here's my opinion, the way I think, the way I do. I do want to persuade people my way because I think my way is a better way because I see a lot of years when it comes to politics and it comes to the way you look at people. You got to care about people all the time. And one of the main thing is these teachers that you're dealing with, Mrs. Bathurst, everybody, they're here for a reason. I'd say 90% of your, 99% of your teachers here could go into any business into this town, any business, and be successful and run it. I'm talking Russell Stovers. I'm talking Land Pride. I'm talking any business and be successful.
I agree.
They're here for a reason. They're here for you because they love you too, just like I do. And once I understood that, we don't pay them enough. They need to make more money, and they do. People are not going to. My buddies that I have coffee with are all redneck farmers. Great guys. Love them to death. Grew up with them. It took them probably 5 years of me convincing them, we've got to, we get 3 months off. I go, yeah, they got to decompress, man. Because not all these kids are great kids like you guys. Some of these kids push the envelope because they've got problems at home. Some of them are raised by wounds. Who knows? I mean, I was one of the first latchkey kids. Both parents worked swing shifts. I was cooking for my little brother. I mean, I was taking care of cows, running, my hogs, chickens, working, blah, 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 blah. I was working from day one. I was occupied. Parents, you're smart. You understand what's going on. You do it. You guys now, you've got so much free time in a way, and then you're so involved in social media. It's so hard. It was so easy for me to be focused. Okay, I've got to do this task now. I didn't have distractions. There was no cell phones. I can remember when the first car phone came out. I mean, it was insane. I remember Star Trek. We're going to have, one of these days we'll have that. Well, you look at Star Trek, it opened doors for everything. There was these geniuses that figured all this crud out. I mean, they go, oh, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. And they did. But teachers, key thing. And
for sure.
Better paid for teachers and just for the school as well. I mean, because one of these days, private organization, private teaching, homeschooling works. We have people that are very successful at homeschool. I think they need the interaction of the school, and we are doing a top-notch deal in this school right now with the teachers we have and what Dr. Smith and Mr. Borton are doing, we're trying to get this all put together to where kids want to come to school like this.
Yeah.
And you got kids that are nerds that love math. Some kids that love, acting and all this. We've got a niche for everybody, athletes.
For sure.
And I love athletes. All my kids were athletes. I was a good athlete, so I blew my knee out. I love athletes. And they tend to, like you're talking, they tend to stick in my mind a little bit when I see, especially wrestlers. I love wrestling. I understand it inside and out. And I love football. Basketball, I understand, but it's not my thing, but the others are. And I mean, they tend to maybe stick out in my head, good athletes, but Dr. Smith, oh, sorry, guys. I'll turn that off.
It's all right.
But other than that, it's paid for teachers. And then kids involved have enough things and I think we have it covered because we had that deal we had in the gym where getting the freshmen to come in and see the different clubs. How many was there? And there was 20, 22. I mean, that's quite a few activities these kids could be involved in. The key thing of it is, getting those kids involved. You just, hey, come out for this. Why don't you do this? Why don't you hit, involvement on upperclassmen to be involved with the younger kids so they feel comfortable.
You're right. That's a good answer. So last question, if there's one thing you could say to the school right now, what would it be? Entire school.
All people.
All 100 of them.
Everybody in the school.
Everybody.
I want everybody to know Jesus like me. You guys are seeing a Scott that's been in, how do you want to word it? A progress.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to kids that were here 10 years ago. Oh, it's like grouchy old. Janitor. Yeah, and I was a grouchy old janitor. Kids lipping off and being, smart alecky and all this kind of stuff. And now I love it. Okay, they're paying attention to me. This is time and knowing Christ like I know it, that is my main mission for all of you. I mean, because I am a different person. Maybe you don't like me. Maybe you do like me. I don't know. But I want to present myself like Christ would present himself to you guys. Because he loved everybody. And he had a good time wherever he was. You read through the New Testament, through Acts and through all that. It tells you his personality. And he was a loving, caring person. And all he wants is the best for you. And in my opinion, the best for you is to believe in Jesus. And that is the best thing for all of you. That's what I want everybody to know. And then live a life. How would I word it? Live a life with your own restrictions and your own filters. Because the problem of it is, I think that we're trying to channel kids into a way of thinking and not thinking outside the box. We need kids thinking outside the box, solving problems, looking at things in a different way.
Yeah.
And we need that to grow. Because schools, why do you think we have bells in schools? Why?
Like, herd them to the next class.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Not critical thinking, man.
No.
We need critical thinking. That's what they do. Big guys, the oligarchs, years ago figured this out. The Rockefellers, the Carnegies. How can we control these schools? How can we control this public? Well, we got to take control of the curriculum in schools. And I think we're getting away from it. I think they're doing a good job. I wish they would spend more time like in math. I think that you need to have 2.5, 3 hours of math so it sinks in. They made a big step in this school for an hour and a half. It used to be you were out of there in 45 minutes. Well, all you're doing is learning how to pass a test. They are trying to get you to sit there and dive into it, but I think it needs more. Because classical education, if you look at how a classical education works, it's one room schoolhouse. They get you reading, writing, arithmetic, get you good at that. Then they ask you, what do you like? Well, I like English. Here you go. Here's a book. You get that book mastered, here's another book. The books are set up like the Bible. You got Genesis all the way to Revelation. I can sit and talk for all day The stories in Genesis, all the way through, what's going on with Daniel, all the different prophets and everything, and what's going on in Revelation, hail and brimstone. I can explain that to you. That's what a book is designed for. A math book. It starts at the front. It wants you to learn. A good math book he's telling you a story. 2 + 2 is 4. And it's telling you the story. And you need to be involved in this story like I am in the Bible. I can sit down and talk for hours about it. That's what a book is. It should be there. You're not memorizing a test. You're getting critical thinking. I understand 2 + 2.
Yeah.
Your algebra, the basics. I understand all that. But now I'm thinking out of the box. This is the story that I've been told in this book, which could be history, it could be math, it could be English, any of them. I know this story inside and out. It's a great book. But now it's my turn to think outside the box. How can I make it easier for this next person?
Yeah.
And that's the way I looked at life. That's what I want to tell everybody here. First, Christ in your body, and he will give you, if you ask him to help you. It's just like me quitting nicotine. I was hooked on nicotine from the womb. My mom smoked, and I just quit it 3 months ago. And here's a perfect example how Christ can work for you in a situation. I've asked Christ, could you help me, pray, quit smoking? Don't give me cancer. Don't scare me. I don't want to be scared out of quitting smoking. Nicotine's a wicked drug. That's just one of the drugs that you guys got to deal with out there. And then I was sitting here the last time I lost weight. I went vegan just because of my internal problems and everything.
You look great.
Yeah. And the reason I have is just because I'm just eating right, eating good foods. You got to have meat. No, you don't. Or you do research it. And you'll find out what you need to eat. But anyways, you sit there and look at the whole situation. And nicotine, I asked the Lord, I go, I'm losing this weight. I don't crave meat. I still cook meat for my son, my wife, my grandkids. I got a smoker, trigger grill, love it, good at it. But I go, could you help me? Because I don't crave meat. It's at all.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, people go, you're my buddies just think I'm insane. I feel good. I got more energy than I've had in years. But I asked the Lord, could you help me with the craving of nicotine? Because that's the trick. You crave it. You drive by, I'm driving by the store and just pull it in, or this, you're planning it out, I had this and that. And he helped me with the craving. The next day, 0 craving. And I haven't had a craving since. And he just asked the right question, the right prayer. And that's the key. And that's where the more you are in Christ and the more you read your Bible, you understand that it's laid out. All you got to do is try to be a good person and do what you need to do. Got her, guys? Need anything else?
Thank you so much. That was our podcast. Thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for being on.
Andy, I love being on.
Thanks for watching the Booster Podcast. I'm Levi, this is Jackson, and that's Owen. We're out.